Last season, Mel Tucker went into the transfer portal and seemed to grab a double-digit win season right out of it for Michigan State. Can he do it again in 2022? Let's take a look at the Spartans. Before we get into the Sparty preview, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button so you're in tune with everything this channel is uploading. Big Ten previews, Big Ten news, reactions, all the videos covering Big Ten football this fall. You want to be dialed into Big Ten football. Subscribe and like. Let's talk about Michigan State. Let's talk about Mel Tucker, who seems to just close his eyes, grab into the transfer portal, and get a double-digit win season. So he's done, and this year, this transfer portal class is pretty darn good as well. I'll get into that as this video progresses. But Michigan State has put themselves in another really good position to contend in the Big Ten East this season. Let's talk about that transfer portal. Kenneth Walker is out after a great season coming over from Wake Forest. In comes Broussard and Jalen Berger. When you look at Broussard, 1,500 yards and 7 touchdowns combined the last 2 seasons at Colorado. A really shifty back. He can get to that second level, that third level, that next level really quickly. Really like what he brings to the table. I think he's going to really succeed at Michigan State. Jalen Berger had some rough times at Wisconsin. Him and the coaching staff didn't really mesh. There was one time where he thought they'd be the #1 back. Braylon Allen came in and changed some things up. Those two together, Berger and Broussard, B&B, it's going to be a pretty damn good combination, I think, in East Lansing this year. Put them both together, and I think they complement each other very, very well. It's going to make things a lot easier for Payton Thorne. Is Payton Thorne the most underrated quarterback in the Big Ten? That needs to be asked. Let's take a look at some stats, okay? 3,200 yards last season, Payton Thorne. That was 4th in the Big Ten in passing yards. 27 passing touchdowns last year. That was 3rd in the Big Ten. He's a top 5 quarterback when you break down the numbers, right? Everybody's talking about guys like C.J. Stroud at Ohio State, Taulia Tagovailoa and all his weapons at Maryland, Aiden O'Connell, dark horse Heisman candidate at Purdue. There's a lot of names that people are throwing around in the Big Ten Conference. But no one's really talking about Payton Thorne, because I think a lot of people thought, well, it was Kenneth Walker who drove the show offensively for Michigan State. Well, Payton Thorne did pretty good too because of his buddy, Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed's another big reason why. Last year, just over 1,000 receiving yards, 5th in the Big Ten. 4th in the Big Ten in touchdown catches last year. He had 10 and 17.4 yards per catch. That's tops among returning Big Ten wide receivers. Statistically, you got to look at this and say, yeah, this is one of the best duos, quarterback and receiver combos, in the Big Ten Conference. Not a lot of people are talking about it, though, but I think it needs to be mentioned that this is an electric duo. You put them with those 2 running backs coming in, I think you're going to have a pretty good combination. And then don't forget, kind of a dark horse in all this, an X factor, Daniel Barker, the transfer from Illinois. His stats don't jump off the page, so to speak, at the tight end position. He's going to be involved heavily in both the run game and the passing game. This guy's 6'4", 250 pounds. He's going to be able to move some people when blocking in the run game. And when Michigan State gets inside the 20, he's going to be a prime target. A lot of his touchdown catches at Illinois came when the Illini got into the red zone, 10-yard touchdown catch, 5-yard touchdown catch. Those kinds of things. He can box out a defender in the end zone, lob it up to him. He'll come down with the football. Daniel Barker is going to be a big part of this offense. The defense can't get much worse. It can't. One of the worst passing defenses in the nation. But I do have some bright spots. Let's start first with the transfer portal. Right? Mel Tucker loves it. He grabs some guys on defense. Chris Bogle, the edge rusher from Florida. Amir Speed, the corner from Georgia. Statistically, they haven't done much at their respective SEC schools, but get them into this system on defense, pair them with 9 returning starters. I think it's a good combination for everybody involved. Let's talk about those 9 returning starters. But before we talk about them, I'm going to hit you with a stat from last year's team to finish up that 2021 defense. They led the Big Ten in sacks, 2nd in tackles for loss, yet this was one of the worst defenses in college football. How's that work? Never seen that before. Moving on to 2022, that experience that I mentioned. I like Xavier Henderson, third-team All-Big Ten safety, one of the leaders in tackles, able to come up and play the run as well. And then I love Cal Halliday, right? That linebacker, what he was able to do. Young guy last year, freshman All-American, second in the team in tackles a year ago. We all remember that pick six he had in the Peach Bowl against Pitt. This is a guy, when you talk about young linebackers in the nation, this guy has to be in the conversation as some of the best. When you take a look at linebackers in the Big Ten, this guy has to be in the conversation as one of the best. Look, this defense is going to be improved. Because you can't go back. You just can't. You can't get that much worse. It's just not going to happen. Mel Tucker is a great defensive coach. 9 returning starters. They're going to be better on defense. Will they be as good on offense? As explosive? I think they're going to lean a bit. I think we're going to really see what they can do in the passing game. We're going to see really how good Payton Thorne and Jayden Reed are together. So that's, I think, they're going to throw the ball a little bit more. I think the running game isn't going to be as leaned upon last year. I say that, and look at those numbers. Payton Thorne, top 5 in the Big Ten. Balanced offense is key. I think you're going to see a balanced offense, but maybe a little bit more out of the passing game this year for Michigan State. What do you guys think? Do you think Payton Thorne is underrated? Is he the most underrated quarterback in the Big Ten? Is Michigan State an underrated team? Should we be looking at them more as Big Ten East contenders with the likes of Ohio State and Michigan? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for all kinds of Big Ten content. We've got a lot of previews previewing all 14 Big Ten teams. I'm Big Ten Ted, and we'll see you in the next one.